Welcome to The Hook, episode 28. What are we talking about today? Well, pretty simple. This American's view of the Six Nations. So, this weekend on Friday, we had France versus Italy in Marseille. About 80,000 people, I think it was, went down. You had a really different side that played against Italy versus what they took to Scotland, because there was, say, some witnessing involved. And I guess, Jacques Brunel's, sort of the mind that if you put yourself in the situation and get picked up by the cops, you're off the team. That's probably not how you say, if you put yourself in position to be in trouble, we will cut you. Probably. I don't know. But, so, he brings up a bunch of different dudes, and, Marcel Bastareaud is back in the centers after his suspension being finished, and, the game that I had picked for Italy to win, that I thought they could win, and that I thought they could play close, ends up really not being that close. Their most offense, that was a penalty try, really. Their other try was scored by Matteo Minazzi, and it was a beating that I did not expect in the way I expected it. They really got dominated up front, and with the way they had been playing, I guess they blew it all versus, Ireland and France. So, not France, but England. And their backs are pretty pedestrian by comparison with how they play. Whereas France was pretty clinical. I mean, you have, Bonneval, Bastareaud, and Gabriag. Both, all those guys, they scored. And then you had, then on offense, it would have been more had Italy not committed so many penalties to an extent, because Marcel hit 5 penalty shots on goal. So, you can't give away free points, guys. Can't give away free points. So, moving on, we had Ireland versus Wales at the Aviva. So, funny thing is, in the last 30 Six Nations, home nations and Five Nations tournaments, the away team has won. So, that really made the Aviva not a, how do you put it? Not really a home field advantage against Wales. And the Welsh travel well. But, they were more like a rash that just didn't go away, because they were, Ireland was basically ahead the whole time, but, the thing that made me fall in love with Wales originally was they played defense, and they put themselves in position to just stay in the match the entire time. They hit hard, but they just, at the end, they were close. They were on offense, and then there was that intercept that pretty much ended it, and with the try. So it was a day to remember, I guess, or infamy, not sure. But for the most part, it was more of an offensive slaughterfest in the second half, to an extent by comparison to the first. And there was a period towards the end where you're like, they've got this. They're going to score. And then get yourself in position, you intercept, you run all the way down, and set a try down, and it's over. So, who scored for Ireland? You have Bundyaki, Jonathan Joseph with 2 tries. Then you have Cian Healy and Dan Levy. Then for Wales, people were wondering, I was wondering, if Leigh Halfpenny coming back into the squad, at least starting, was the smart thing. Well, he ended up with 12 points. Come on. Of course he's the guy. Then you had Steph Evans, Gareth Davies, and Aaron Shingler with tries. So really, again, it was a great defensive effort from Wales, and what you saw there was their ability to fight back, which in years past they really didn't have it. They could still play good defense, but once they're down, they're kind of down. But, just better players, I guess, and, was it Gatlin's just taking more chances when it comes to what he's doing on offense, and it's really nice to see. Moving forward, and to the final match of the weekend was Scotland versus England at Murrayfield. And, I said I wanted to see England move forward. I wanted to see them win by 20. That obviously did not happen. They got beat by... oh my gosh. They got thumped, basically, by Scotland. There was pretty much, parity in the pack. They weren't seeking to, beat the English pack. And to an extent, they were a little bit more athletic. Hugh Jones. See Jesus? Anyone know? Scotland. Ugh. Hope you jocks know what I'm saying. Is he Jesus? If so, please let me know. He scored 2 tries. He was brilliant. Then you had Sean Maitland and Greg Laidlaw and Finn Russell also with penalty kicks as well. What you run into in England was, well, I think you don't start Courtney Laws anymore, because you basically had an extra lock on the field, and you go with Chris Robshaw and Sam Underhill, or you bring in Don Armand to the squad for the day on the bench, and you just let those guys go to work. Otherwise, we can go back, and I'm a big proponent of this. Put Haskell back in. There's no reason to keep him practicing if you're not going to play him. Let him go play for his club and let him go to France. But if you're going to keep him practicing, put him on, because his work rate is going to be 3 times as good as everybody else's. He's going to freaking put his body where it needs to be, and he's going to be athletic. He might be a little step slower, but he's going to make up for that on defense and at the breakdown. So get after it. I think George Ford's a system player. I don't think he's being efficient within the system. I don't think he has the ability to make more decisions within that system. He's not, like, when they're playing a completely inferior opponent, he's going to be brilliant. Otherwise, he's just not there. The other issues I had here is Owen Farrell, man. You need to hit the bench. Owen Farrell as a 12 is not going to work, because he's more of a distributor and playmaker, but he can't tackle. I need my 12 to tackle like a middle linebacker on the pitch that goes sideline to sideline, just yanking people down and trying to get the ball. However, the other thing is he is a playmaking 10. So if he can't tackle, George Ford goes to the bench. And you put Owen Farrell in the 10 shirt. Because guess what? He was all of England's offense. All 13 points. So that's episode 26, or 28 rather, of The Hook. 6 Nations, week 3 in review, since we've got another bye week. Like, subscribe, comment. You can catch me at the Strobro and at Earful of Dirt. Have a great day.